Good morning, Appalachian Trail. There is Franconia Ridge with clouds in the valley. Here's where I spent the night last night, the Beaver Brook Shelter. And I'm ready to go. This morning I have my gloves on and my rain pants as well as my raincoat. It's a cold one this morning, upper 30s. So we are dressed up for the downhill. I will probably change when I start going uphill up Mount Wolf this morning. Only 1.5 miles to New Hampshire Route 112. How bad could it be? Let's do it. I just have to say before I start descending that was a beautiful view of Franconia Ridge that I saw from the shelter. Yeah, it was mostly blocked by pines, but the spot I could see rising above the clouds, that was just terrific. Beautiful moment this morning. I intentionally kept on a few extra layers and put on a few extra layers this morning because I know that I'm not going to be moving fast during this stretch, so I will not warm up as quickly because the terrain prevents me from moving fast. So wearing extra layers will help me stay warm until I get to the next uphill component because it's in the 30s out. That's looking up from where I came. I've already had to get on all fours a few times this morning. The trail is also very wet. The rocks are wet. I don't know if the rocks ever dry on this trail. We are heading down. We began this descent about 6:45 in the morning. Wow, Moosilauke, you are some of the most rugged terrain that I've ever seen. As our way down, there's some sort of muddy spring that's making everything wet, which makes it perfect for descent. That's what I mean, it's always wet. Good morning! Welcome to the Appalachian Trail and Mount Moosilauke. We are Stick the Eagle, and we are hiking northbound from Springer Mountain, Georgia to Katahdin, Maine. We are in New Hampshire today, hiking down Mount Moosilauke, hoping to hike over Mount Wolf and over the Kinsmans today. So we'll see how that goes. Already, I've been hiking half an hour since the shelter, and I don't know how far I've gone. It's 1.5 miles, but this is some terrain, so I'm taking it slow. We are taking it slow because you're along with me for the ride. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you're watching. I hope you enjoy following along for today's journey, day 111 on the Appalachian Trail. Whether you're new or whether you're back, welcome here to Stick the Eagle and the Appalachian Trail. And let's keep hiking northbound. The trail is now a trickle of water. Some might call it a stream. More water is coming to join the party onto this trail. Welcome to the Appalachian Trail. There really aren't many blazes. Once you get to the whites, they cut back on the white blazes. So you just have to kind of trust that you're following the trail because it looks like a trail or aka a river. And if I get doubtful, I'll check far out just to make sure. I'm about to get some very fresh water from this water source right here, instead of continuing to drink the town water that I got yesterday. And I'm going to drink a bunch of this and enjoy the taste because mountain water tastes really good. You know, sitting here, just looking out at the firs, listening to the water, it's very peaceful. I finished filtering and I'm just taking an extra moment just to listen. I'm really enjoying it out here and embracing every moment. I'm getting to the point where these poles are not being very helpful anymore. I'm basically boulder scrambling more than I am actually walking. I can't believe this descent. I've been on the trail for an hour and a half and I have no signs of a parking area. Honestly, that barely looks like a trail. That's what I've been scrambling down. And my poles are now just hanging from my arms because they're not helpful. I shouldn't have looked. I was like, I've got to be getting close, right? I've gone 0.3 miles in the last hour and a half plus. What? That is so discouraging. I am literally sliding down these rocks. Like, I have to sit down and slide. There's a little bit of a waterfall. More of the same, just coming down boulders. What's next? Looks a little flatter down there, but probably more boulders. What is this? What is this? It's a section I can actually use my trekking poles on. What? Trekking poles pulled out again. This is honestly terrific. I'm using my poles again. They're going much faster. I'm just realizing that I'm getting hungry, so I might need to pause for my second breakfast, as it's like 8:30 now, and I had my first breakfast at 6:30. Look how pretty those waterfalls are through the trees there. Gorgeous, gorgeous, amazing. Wow. This is what my upcoming descent looks like. Looks like there's a little flat spot down there that might be a good second breakfast spot. This is my view right here, looking at the continued descent and this nice waterfall. This is my second break on the descent down Moosilauke, and I didn't take one break on the way up. Going down is so much harder than the ascent. For perspective. This is the third step. That's the fourth step. It's basically as tall as me. That step is far. That's how far that step is. I have to reach all the way down. Where'd the steps go? There's more down there. Well, thank you for those steps, because that certainly made it significantly easier. Normalist trail now? Maybe? Haha, I'm not counting my chickens. This is the whites. came down that. There's the waterfall, quicker way down. What? There's a step down there. That's where the trail goes somehow. So I'm now standing on this wood plank. I just climbed down from this. And this is head level. I was just up there. Oh, this is another big step. Well, this is a bit more normal, I should say. As normal can be in white. Maybe we're actually getting somewhere. I haven't said what time it is in a while. I want you guys to guess, how long do you actually think it took me to get down from the shelter to the parking area? 1.5 miles. Oh man, when you look at that, we're within a quarter mile of the road. Make sure you factor into your guess that I did take 2 20-minute breaks. One to get water and one to eat my second breakfast. Looks like there was a mudslide of some sorts here. We made it back to normal terrain. How about that? Normal terrain. I was thinking about the song, in the midst of new dimensions. That song. Here's our brook that we've been following for ages. It is where the eagle soars. Fiery pillar owns the journey now and ever. Now and ever, now and evermore. So I've made it to flat land again. There's like a tenting site in that pine grove over there. Anyway, issues I'm dealing with right now that I need solved soon is that my Injinji liners are no longer wearable. They have way too many holes in them. I cannot put them on my feet anymore. And second, my toenail clippers, and fingernail clippers, but really my toenail clippers just broke. And I was going to use them the other day, and they just came apart in my hand, and an essential piece was missing. So I lost it somewhere along the trail. Who knows? But those are the things we're dealing with right now. Moosilauke summit, so easy, 3.8, right? Oh gosh. At least there's a parking area with a pit toilet and trash cans. This is why my liners are going by. They're all twisted, plenty of holes. Take a look at my new look. I have my buff on to cover my ears so that bugs stop flying in my ears. Anyway, I did try to find new liners in Hanover and could not. They didn't have any in stock. At this point, they're not usable, so I'm hiking the whites without any liners. They have a parking fee for parking in that parking lot, but they do honor the America the Beautiful passes. I had an America the Beautiful pass when I was doing my national park tour, so I'd highly recommend them if you're coming to do a lot of parking in national parks and such. This is a national forest, so it counts as that. So my time was 3.5 hours, including my breaks. It is now 10:30, and we're just starting to head over to Wolf Mountain. Well behind the pace that I thought I was going to be on, but that's okay. That descent just took a lot more out of me than I thought it would. Kinsman Ridge Trail is what we have ahead of us. Eliza Brook and Kinsman Pond Shelter. Okay, now this is exhausting. We just left the road. So Mount Wolf is 3,400 feet of elevation total. So it's total elevation gain of 1,600 feet over 4 miles. So it should be much less steep than what I just came down. The whites are real. A lot harder than I thought they would be. I'm having this odd pain in my chest. I'm not sure. I never felt anything like it before. Just trying to push up this mountain. And I just started feeling it. Whew, it's still there. I'm gonna take it easy. I think I was trying to take on that hill too fast, and my lungs just started having issue with that, maybe. I don't know. I was just feeling sweaty and lightheaded, and my chest hurt for whatever reason. Never had that before, but we're just gonna maybe take more breaks. I just really wanted to catch Frizzle and Nichols, and I just can't keep up with them. The whites are so much harder than I expected. It's getting emotional. Oh, man. Guess I'll see him again sometime. I've just got to take care of me right now. Stay positive. All right, Mount Wolf, I'm coming for you. Just had my good emotional session, realizing that I might not see Frizzle and Nichols again. But I'm going to just resign to hiking the whites myself at my own pace, and we're gonna get this done and enjoy it along the way. Just keep pushing north one step at a time. That's what I've always told myself, and that's what I will keep doing. Keep pushing north one step at a time. I think this is just going to be normal trail for the rest of the way. Just one big step after another. Appalachian Trail, you are a gift. Thank you. My 12 o'clock tip to you is do this with your buff. I used to only wear this around my neck, but then I realized it has so many more uses. I can wear it on the side of my head like this to cover my ears. So that's amazing. And it prevents the bugs from flying in. So I'm loving it so far. I learned this from Captain Jack because I was just watching a few of his videos in anticipation of maybe getting to meet him. And you know what? I was like, wow, he only went 8 miles one day, and then he only went from Beaver Brook to Eliza Brook the next day. I'll catch him, no problem. I'm excited. Well, guess what? I know why he only did 8 and then 9 miles now. I might be doing the same thing with this terrain. I was 50 something days behind him at the start, 12 days behind him at Harper's Ferry, and now I'm 4 days behind him, but I'm not sure I'll be able to cover those 4 days before my time is up. And so it became. I was leading the 9 all through Southern Virginia, and they were like, slow down, slow down. We can't keep up with you. Well, now I'm the last of the 9, and I'll probably remain the last of the 9 for the remainder of my trip because I can't keep up with them, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm telling myself that's okay. I miss him. I really do miss him. But we had many great memories, and I'll always cherish all the memories that we made together. It's so pretty up here. What's going on here? There's like obvious erosion there. Rock here, which is definitely at an angle. The trail is down there. I can see it. I just have to find a way to get there. This is what I'm talking about. It's so rugged. It's impossible to even keep my 2-mile-per-hour pace up here. I just have to go step by step and choose my path carefully, like each uphill and each downhill. Nothing like what I've faced before. We're not at Mount Wolf yet, but we just went up this steep thing and now we're going down this steep thing. You know, these little ups and downs would be little ups and downs before the summit. Now it's rugged ups and downs. The actual summit of Mount Wolf is still 3.5 miles away from my present location. Now we scramble up this rock face. All right, let's do it. I think I'm feeling upset, frustrated with my progress in the weights, and that it's interfering with my enjoyment. I just yelled at a black fly. Like, seriously. I think I just miss my friends and want to catch up with them, but that's not going to happen. And I'm just trying to settle into that and walk my own hike and just not think about the miles. Because it feels like I'm hardly doing anything and going super slow if I end a day with less than 10 miles. But it's the weights, and the weights are harder. I just can't let me being frustrated with progress interfere with my enjoyment of the weights. So, first step is to recognize that. Second step is to quell that. There's a blaze. See how wet this rock is? I just completely slid down this rock to here. That hurt. A hiker just came up behind me running this trail. This is what I call normal trail. The trail is actually like this. I can actually do my 2 to 2.5 mile pace for however long it lasts. Not bad, I'll enjoy it. Lasted a few moments. Still not terrible though. It's whatever it is. It's 1 o'clock and I have 4 miles on the day after starting at 6:30. The good news is I've done 2.5 in the last 2 hours. So I've been picking up the pace. It's getting really dark out here again. It'd be nice for the sun to come out and dry things up a bit, but I think it might rain again. Another rock scramble to climb up. Oh, whites, we love ya. I think I found myself my next break spot right off the trail here. Can't see a lot, but I can see some things if I can figure out which way I'm looking. This is amazing. Look at these mountains. Super tall mountain. That's a ski mountain there. And then there is the Franconia Ridge looming with Mount Liberty, Mount Lincoln, and Mount Lafayette. Wow. Beautiful. And there's more mountains in the distance. It has started raining again, so it's time to put my pack cover back on, which I just took off this morning. Actually, it's rained at least a little bit every single day that I've been in New Hampshire so far, and the last 2 days that I was in Vermont. As it stands now, tomorrow is supposed to be cloudy also, and then Friday is supposed to rain again. And if I keep doing 8 to 9 miles a day, I'm going to be set up to get to Franconia Ridge on Friday. I don't want to do it in the rain. I'll have no good views. Saturday is supposed to be gorgeous. Sunny, actually sunny. I haven't seen the sun constantly, like all day, for like a week. It's been cloudy most of the time. So anyway, I'm thinking about Franconia Ridge. I was thinking I'd be doing it tomorrow, but I might be further behind schedule than that. Shouldn't use the word schedule, but I don't want to be doing Franconia Ridge in the rain, so that's going to be on my mind. I found the Gordon Pond Trail. Eliza Brook Shelters 4.2. It's about 1:30. Honestly, 4.2 sounds a lot more than it usually does. I'm exhausted. I feel like just going to sleep right now, but it's 1:30. We don't do that at 1:30. I'm struggling a bit. I sat down on this rock and I almost fell asleep. And I just decided to drink some water, and then I dropped my bottle cap. It rolled down the hill. I went to go get it, then I dropped my bottle. Most of my water spilled out. So then I decided to eat some jelly beans, some electrolyte jelly beans, in order to give myself some energy for the hill. So that's where I'm at right now. Yesterday I felt pretty good going up Moosilauke. I just used my energy to just keep on going and not stop. It was just like a can't stop, won't stop, kind of like Bristol did. It was fine, it was fun. But today, I'm just not feeling that, and I'm really not sure why. I want it back. The White Mountains are the most rugged terrain ever. That's an alright tent site right there. I'm not sure if it's legal, but it's an alright site. They've got to be joking with us. Alright, this rock is almost as tall as me. I found water. I've got to make a pit stop here. The water is slightly tan from tannings, which I don't like to gather water from, but what can I do? It's the only water I've got. I think we might finally be getting closer to the summit of Mount Wolf. Mount Wolf is so small compared to some of the 4,000 footers we're climbing and are going to be climbing. But to give myself some credit here, Mount Wolf is taller than Mount Greylock by like 100 feet or so. So I remember when I was about to climb Greylock, or when I was climbing Greylock, that felt tall. So giving myself credit on Mount Wolf here. Oh, there's more. Why are we like this, White Mountains? Why, oh why? Every step is difficult. I think today it's been made even more challenging by the wet, slippery rock that I have to maneuver. This is how tall I am compared to this rock face I have to get up. It's about shoulder high and it's all wet. Actually, this ladder of roots seemed a little bit easier than the rock. It's kind of cool up here, Mount Wolf. Now that I finally made it up, it's really pretty. Outlook is a side trail at Wolf Mountain. I've come this far, I'm gonna bag it now. Even the summit trail is rather difficult as I struggle to get my footing. Alright, the rest looks okay. Trees are definitely your friend in helping to get up some of these wet rocks. No sign, Wolf Mountain. I found the top of you. I don't see any sign. Wolf Mountain doesn't get any love. But look at that. Look at that. Franconia Ridge. Gorgeous. Liberty, Lincoln, and Lafayette. I think Lafayette is the tallest one over there. Wow. So tall, so steep. We're gonna be walking along that ridge eventually. Well, y'all, Mount Wolf is in the bag. And the sun's finally come out again. Yay! I'm still wearing my raincoat and pack cover because you never know what the weather's gonna be doing out here. It was just raining. And then the sun's out and blue skies. Whew, weather changes fast up here in the mountains. Even the descent down Wolf Mountain is difficult. This rock's about chest high. I might go this way, but it's just always choosing your route. And that adds challenge to the hiking. Looks pretty easy, right? Well, I poorly chose to step on that route and I went flying. I stepped in the puddle, got my shoe wet, and the next rock was slippery. I almost completely wiped out on that. I was just thinking, is there possibly a way I could catch Nichols and Frizzle? They're at the Notch Hostel right now. They got there like mid-afternoon after finishing the Kinsman's today. And that's 11 miles ahead. And the Kinsman's are still in front of me. And it's 4 o'clock. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to catch them. I'm going to show you how deep this mud is. See my trekking pole? That's how deep it is. Whoa. If I step in that, I'm sinking down past my ankles. It's that deep. That's the trail, but there's no easy place to step between here and the trail. I'm on this log right now, but then the log disappears. I understand why people went around, and I think that's the ticket, even though I try not to create new trails. Plenty of New Hampshire mud. How am I gonna get through that? Again, look around and choose a careful path. And some mud, I can tell where people went up and around, and again, I might have to do that. Well, they might be planning a project. I wonder how they got this wood up here. Did they fly it in? Anyway, that project will be welcome over there. .1 from here, all downhill to Eliza Brook Shelter. It's just after 4, all downhill really. Just after 4, and I'll see. That is not downhill. I'll see what time I get to Eliza Brook and make my decision from there. All downhill from the pond, the contour lines say. To get through a section like this, trekking poles really come in handy. Just tapping ahead of you, because sometimes it sinks way down. And other times you find a rock just below the surface that you can step on. So just tap until you find a secure surface. Take that one in. Franconia Ridge again. Mount Liberty, Mount Lincoln, I think. Beautiful though. Wow. There are bridges here, which I can hear by tapping my poles here, but they're underwater or under mud. That was terrible. You find the plank, and then if you tap on the one side, then your pole goes down like a foot. And there was one point in the middle here where there didn't seem to be a plank. It must have disintegrated or something. Again, here I am. We have to pull ourselves up this. It's about waist high. thanks to this, I'll use that as a handhold and then continue up that. This is the descent. When I came up that ascent there, I wasn't expecting it to drop like this on the other side. So I just slid down that wet rock till my feet landed in the mud. All right, now we have some boards here. What else does the trail have in store for us today? More wet rocks to slide on, that's what. This really is amazing. What a day it's been. From the really steep descent down Moosilauke to the unexpected steep ascent up Wolf to the super, super muddy terrain that's like a foot deep to a slippery bug on my hand. The only part of my skin that's exposed is my hand. To a slippery rock face scramble trying to get to Eliza's shelter. What a day it's been. A full day, and it's only 9 miles. I will also say I've been eating like there's no tomorrow today. Because I'm like always hungry today. I've been eating so many of my snacks, and I still feel hungry. If this keeps up, I would need a resupply before Gorham. We'll see how things play out. But so far, I've spent 2 days in the whites, and so far the whites are taking twice as long as expected. Because I expected, mud, I expected to get to Eliza's shelter last night when I started Moosilauke. And that didn't happen. It looks like I might have to stop at Eliza tonight. So I expected to get through in 6 days, I think. It might take me 12. Wow. There's my first view of Kinsman and how it looms. Wow, if I continued past Eliza, I'd be doing that today. It's 5 o'clock already. Eliza it is. Like I said, this will be my second sub-10 day in a row. It feels slow. I don't know how people do more. Like Nichols and Frizzle went from the Jeffries shelter right a mile past Hiker's Welcome to Eliza in 1 day yesterday. I don't really know how. It's 15 miles over this terrain, and it's taken me at least a full day and a half. But anyway, safety over speed, right? Safety over speed. Don't worry about others. The worst thing I could do would be to injure myself in the whites now and then not be able to climb my climbing wall at summer camp. It's a white blaze. These are few and far to see in the whites. Eliza Brook is 1 mile ahead. I'm taking my disappointment that I'm only here and turning it into joy that I am here on the Appalachian Trail, and also the knowledge the mountains will still be there tomorrow. They'll still be there another day, another week, another month. They don't all have to be done now. This is the real Brook Trail. Here we go. Eliza Brook Shelter 1, Kinsman Junction 4.5, and the Kinsman Ridge Trail, or in parentheses, AT. So what a journey it was today. The first day since Georgia that I've wondered whether I'm cut out for this, because I can't keep up with other thru-hikers. I stopped for a snack break. I'm 0.7 from the shelter. I'll get there soon. I was just reading some far out comments about the shelter, and as little as 3 weeks ago, there was 1 to 2 feet of snow in this area. Imagine that. I've been complaining about the mud. Imagine all the snow. Look at that blue sky up there. It's turned into a lovely, lovely day after that rain. I hope I did, bug again. I hope I did that terrain a little bit of justice by showing it today. I hope you could gain a little bit of appreciation for how the terrain can be out here in the White Mountains. It definitely did a number on me today, as I'm sure you could tell. But we're still focusing on the positive. The mountains are still beautiful, and Kinsman, which I intended to do today, will still be there tomorrow when we're fresh and ready to go. So we're on an AT journey, and we're going to continue this AT journey that we've been on for a while now. 4 months almost. Wow. If you'd like to follow along for more AT content, I invite you to subscribe if you have not done so already. And if you'd like to follow along for some live updates, I will post as I am able on my Instagram account. Same handle as my YouTube, @StickTheEagle. For now, always remember to embrace the journey and happy trails. Powerline view, more gorgeous views of mountains. We're arriving at Eliza Brook just before 6 o'clock. We are here again by ourselves in the shelter. We're all set up here. Good night, everyone.